主持人 Alan 吴正天来到了悉尼最受欢迎的景点之一。
听说你从早到晚喜欢吃东西啊？我小时候最喜欢的动物就是猩猩。你来。
入住奢华的生态度假村，享受与野生动物共眠的独特体验。
袋鼠啊，就在外面。哇！
悉尼是澳大利亚规模最大且风景如画的美丽城市。这座迷人的国际大都市，除了拥有丰富的文化遗产，温和宜人的气候也让悉尼全年景致迷人，是许多旅客澳大利亚行程的第一站。
这一次我来到澳大利亚的悉尼，准备坐船前往 Wildlife Retreat at Taronga。
有没有想过，在繁忙的都市中，竟然可以和野生动物一起共眠，在动物园里过夜呢？哈哈，主持人 Alan 这次要拜访的酷旅店，正是塔隆加野生动物度假村，它就坐落在悉尼的塔隆加野生动物园内。
如果要去塔隆加动物园，有2种方法，一个是可以驾车，另外呢就是坐船。
塔隆加野生动物园位于悉尼港北岸临海的小丘陵上，地处著名的富人区莫斯曼，距离悉尼市中心只有10分钟的航程，可以说是最受悉尼人和游客欢迎的景点之一。前来迎接 Alan 的就是塔隆加野生动物度假村的宾客体验官
Laura?
Yes, hello, nice to meet you.
Nice to finally meet you too. Such a pleasure to be here.
Welcome to Taronga Zoo.
Taronga Zoo.
前往塔隆加野生动物度假村的旅客可以选择乘搭缆车穿越动物园，以独特的方式一睹园内的动物以及悉尼的风景。
Laura, wow, this is very, very cool. First you take a ferry here, now you take the sky safari.
建于1916年，塔隆加野生动物园占地面积28公顷，拥有超过350个动物品种，多达4000多只动物。这里一年可吸引200多万名旅客前来观光。塔隆加野生动物园所处的这块地，原本是澳大利亚原住民卡麦勒伊加尔的古老村落，而在原住民的语言里，塔隆加就是海景的意思。
All right, let's go.
After you.
Thank you very much.
Camaragal are the people who've lived here for tens of thousands of years, and we really honour and respect them as the traditional custodians of the land. And they also have a lot to teach us about taking care of the environment and wildlife.
Looks like we're getting close, Laura.
This is us, exclusive for guests of the Wildlife Retreat, our own special entrance into the zoo.
塔隆加，我们到了。
Well, come on in.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
Look at
pretty
this view.
Pretty impressive, isn't it?
Very, very impressive. Wow, this is beautiful. Look
Yeah,
at
so this
that.
is the Nagara Lounge or the Nest. So this is kind of the heart of the Wildlife Retreat.
尽收眼帘的是悉尼湾美不胜收的风景，又能与稀有的野生动物近距离接触。这家开业仅3年的豪华野生动物度假村，让旅客能够在舒适的环境下体验澳大利亚的野生生态。度假村已连续2年被全球知名的旅游网站猫头鹰 TripAdvisor 评为澳大利亚评价最高的住宿目的地之一，一年可吸引35000名旅客入住。
So here at the Wildlife Retreat, how many rooms do you have altogether?
So we've got 62 beautiful rooms. Yeah, and 4 types of rooms.
Okay.
Some that look out on the koalas, some that look out on the animals, and some that look out on the harbour.
Wow, Laura, this is a beautiful room. And I have a roommate. Look at this.
You do have a little roommate, beautiful red kangaroo.
袋鼠啊，就在外面。I'm gonna go and say hi to him. Oh, what?
No, we'll keep you safe in here and
Yeah,
keep him
exactly.
safe out there.
你看，我们住在这里，多靠近这些袋鼠，我多幸运，多幸福。哎，你好，你会讲华语吗？
每个房间俯瞰不同的景色，让入住塔隆加野生动物度假村的宾客可以选择一睹门前的袋鼠，或是聆听树袋熊的大鼾声。这家度假村最宽敞、最贵的树顶套房，一晚的房价高达新币1250元。
再去查一下袋鼠喜欢吃什么东西，搞不好我可以晚一点喂它们这点东西，吸引它过来，跟它一起拍一个 selfie 自拍。
这实在是不对的，请观众勿要模仿。 这家获得5星级绿色之星评级的生态度假胜地，在2019年由塔隆加自然保护协会建设和经营。负责监督这项目的灵魂人物，就是塔隆加野生动物园的执行董事。曾经是动物园里的饲养员 Simon， 在过去的25年里，将全部的心血投入在开展园里的各种项目，推广保育野生动物的信息。
What we found is that people really wanted the chance to come and spend time in Taronga Zoo. And so we were thinking about how do we develop the accommodation. We were really careful in the design so that the animals feel comfortable and the guests are inspired by the animals as well.
更重要的是，度假村以及动物园都是以非盈利的模式经营，所以全部的利润都通通投入到保育野生动物的工作中。因此，入住度假村的宾客们在游玩之际，已经间接地参与了这项保育动物的重大工程。
The longer we have people here with us on our side, the more messages we can get across about wildlife conservation and about what they can do for conservation as well. We just want as many people as possible to be able to come and experience it. I think the wildlife retreat is one of those experiences you won't forget for your entire life.
度假村最大的亮点，当然就是这个设计独特的保护区。入住野生动物度假村的宾客可参加保护区的专享导览，近距离观赏动物在自然栖息地的生活状态，以及动物园在幕后的保育工作。Alan 当然不能错过这独家的机会，认识这些他从未见过的野生动物。
These are my favourite animals in the world, echidnas. What I love echidnas so much, they're survivors, man. If you go to the snow, the desert, the coast, the rainforest, you'll find these guys.
这个精心设计的保护区是多达10种澳大利亚本土野生动物的栖息地。在这里，住客有机会从宾客体验官的口中认识这些濒危的动物，以及它们在野外所面临的危险。
These are Tamar wallabies. These come from the Great Australian Bight. They got hit by the bushfires, and they got hit hard. There's no water. Do you know what their plan B is?
Drink salt water.
Absolutely, these guys can drink salt water. If they're still here today, they've got a survival story, and our Australian animals have some of the best.
哇，真的有好多不同的一些小袋鼠在这里，所以这只跟刚才那些都完全不一样。
度假村希望透过住客与这些野生动物近距离的接触，能够启发他们爱护环境，并一起加入保育野生动物的行列。要饲养园内的所有野生动物一点也不便宜，而花费最高的野生动物竟然是
Not the lions with the red meat, not the seals with the seafood, our koalas. It's expensive. You're helping feed these beautiful animals.
树袋熊啊，我真的对它们很好奇啊，以为它们就是很懒惰，就喜欢睡在树上。为什么养它们要这么贵？这件事我要多研究一下，要多了解。Why are you so expensive?
想要了解这些野生动物究竟有多难养，那就开工吧。
All right, our first job today is going to be cleaning all of the feed stations.
Alan 这次来到塔隆加野生动物度假村，除了体验野生动物和人类和谐共处的美好，他也将走入幕后，了解度假村和动物园里大大小小的运作。他的第一份工作就是跟着动物饲养员 Natalie 一起打理度假村里的保护区。
So this is the disinfectant that we use for all our animal feed stations.
So that's safe for the animals, right?
That's right.
Natalie 每天开工必须做的第一件事，就是确保动物进食的环境干净卫生，以免它们感染疾病。
That's
that enough?
perfect. Yep, a little scrubbing. Thank you, Alan.
Okay.
And just watching all your work is our native Cape Barren geese. They're one of Australia's only native geese. They used to be quite endangered. They were actually hunted for food, but now protected.
Excellent. Cleaning up your feeding station right here. Look how clean that is.
Natalie 和团队里的另外5位动物饲养员负责看管保护区里的35只动物。他们每天早上6点开始日常的工作，按照严谨的时间表运作。
How long have you been working here?
I've been working here for 10 years
10 years,
now.
wow.
And I actually had a very big career change 10 years ago. I used to work in IT.
Oh, really?
And what
Oh, wow.
I generally tell people is that my money was here, but my happiness was down there, and now I've kind of swapped. So it's not the highest paying industry being a zookeeper, but I'm so much happier than I used to be, and I'm doing something I'm passionate about.
没有热忱，绝对无法胜任动物饲养员的工作，因为不管日晒雨淋，他们365天都必须负责照顾动物的重任，从打扫、消毒、喂食、观察到训练，一样不漏。
So Claudia's here getting all the food ready for the feeds this morning. And what Claudia's doing is grating some food for one of our bettongs who's had a few teeth issues.
Oh, wow.
So she needs a little bit of soft food at the moment. Excellent, thank you, Alan.
We're on the move. Beautiful day after the rain. Perfect weather for eating.
That's
A
right.
breakfast outdoors.
They love this. So we've got a little hanging basket.
Do you put the hanging basket so that way the other insects can't get to it? Or
These geese mostly graze grass.
Okay.
And they need to pluck the food off.
Sounds good. Fair enough.
除了喂食，动物饲养员也必须通过观察动物的进食和活动状态，了解它们目前的健康情况。
This is the best time of the day for us to watch how they're eating and make sure there's no health issue. Their teeth are looking good. They're chewing evenly on both sides of their face. There's no swellings, things like that. So this is the bettong station on the left. So I can tell you that most Australians don't know anything about bettongs. They've probably never seen them before. They're not doing well at all in the wild. They're very hard to see. So it's quite amazing, I guess, for guests to come to the retreat and see a species like this.
所以这个动物是叫做 Rufous Bettong，因为这些动物呢是喜欢夜生活，它们白天喜欢睡觉，它们每天呢早上会播一个好像他们当地的青蛙的声音，通知他们要起床吃早餐了。Who would like some corn？ 不用客气 ，OK？
嘿，他们并不是客气，因为等这些动物吃饱后，还需要 Alan 和 Natalie 为他们做一份非常重要的工作。
Look at this view.
Pretty impressive, isn't it?
酷旅店把主持人 Alan 吴震天带到位于悉尼塔隆加野生动物园里的豪华野生动物度假村，
袋鼠啊就在外面，
感受与动物一起共眠的奇幻经历，以及走入幕后一睹度假村和动物园的精彩运作。
Look how clean that is. 不用客气 ，OK？
把动物喂饱之后 ，Alan 和 Natalie 有项重要的工作要完成。
现在这些动物都吃好东西之后，它们当然也要上厕所，对不对？所以由我们来，就是准备把它们的粪都捡起来。Here we are now in search of poo. 好，找一下。
You'll get really good at it, trust me.
I
Just
know.
keep going for another 5 hours.
You'll be a poo master.
Suddenly you'll see it everywhere.
哇塞，这个就是它们的大便啊，不过不是很大。
铲屎可是动物饲养员最大的任务之一，在这个过程中，他们必须观察粪便的状态，判断动物是否健康。
这些小袋鼠喜欢躲在这些小树里面啊，这小树里面就可以找到很多很多一粒的大便。你看，哇，可能掉了，再试一次。There you go.
Alan， 他们是叫你来捡粪便，不是进行杂技表演，更不是叫你做出接下来如此奋勇的傻事。
I'm gonna actually smell this. Let's try it. Let's get a big old. Okay, yeah. 这个味道跟我的差不多一样啊，就是那么香。
度假村的精髓在于为住客打造一个轻松惬意但奢华又可持续性的入住体验。那度假村的餐厅又是如何在这个前提下达到目标？
现在去餐厅准备开工。
虽然旅客往往来到动物园不是为了美食，但度假村的餐厅 Migo 却是这里的另一大亮点。这家餐厅除了享有悉尼明媚的景色之外，同时还拥有2个厨师帽的殊荣，让宾客不止一饱眼福，还大饱口福。
Good afternoon, Chef Casey. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
We are very busy tonight.
Very busy. Busy's good.
将度假村的精神通过用餐体验呈现给食客的，就是曾在青年厨师烹饪大赛荣获第3名的行政总厨 Gersu Mattel。
现在呢，我跟厨师 Gersu 在准备他们的开胃菜，就是新鲜的螃蟹。
行政总厨葛素所设计的菜单，反映了动物园和度假村对于保育动物的热忱，着重于使用以可持续性种植和养殖、自由放养的新鲜当地农产品和本土食材。
We focus on the Australian native ingredients, and where possible, we use sustainable seafood. Every fish that comes into our kitchen, we can track back all the way to the fisheries who caught them.
考虑到餐厅独特的地理位置以及保育的原则，餐厅所提供的菜肴60%以海鲜为主，也尽可能都是得到海洋管理委员会认证的产品。
You ever have any guests that want to try, let's say, kangaroo meat or something?
To be honest, I never had anyone asking that, and hence we can't use kangaroos.
Yeah.
We have animals in our zoo, and we cannot use the same animals in our menu.
Chef, how is Alan doing?
A bit slow at the moment, but hopefully we'll be ready for dinner service.
喂 ，Alan， 主厨哥叔是叫你快一点，而不是大力一点。这家餐厅只开放给入住的宾客，在入住期间，宾客可以选择在这里享用厨师们精心设计的3道菜的单点晚餐。
Let's cook some scallops.
I love scallops.
This is from Australia.
From Australia,
That's
okay.
correct, yes. Now we need to have our beautiful lemon myrtle. We use this lemon myrtle quite often. This is citrusy, zesty. It gives a beautiful taste in the scallops.
You can only get this in Australia?
That's
or?
correct. Yeah, it's just native to Australia. It doesn't grow anywhere else.
Oh,
and
wow.
It comes from North Queensland, Brisbane. One of the things that I love about this dish is I get to discover all the different ingredients in Australia, what's indigenous.
It's really good for Australians, but even also better for people that are visiting from overseas.
Yeah.
They can enjoy your food and also really experience and taste Australian cuisine. You got it. Wow. These are the oysters?
Yeah, those are the Sydney
These are
rock
the
oysters,
salmon
yeah.
roll. We'll get these out here. 当地的生蚝。
行政总厨哥苏一向要求他的团队从菜肴的风味到食材的品质，甚至摆盘的细节，都要达到最顶级的标准。曾在2个厨师帽餐厅实习过的 Alan 是否会不负众望呢？
If you don't mind making me 2 portions of that.
2 portions, I'll do that.
That'd be
All
great.
right.
Yeah.
Just in case our oh.
Ah.
Sorry about that. I just got fired, huh? 刚才不小心挤得太大力了，就把那个醋喷到盘子上了，就不能再用了。Right on top of the oysters, right?
That's right. But you can also see the mistake that you made.
Can I?
If you look at my one,
Yep.
all of them like a fan, and then your one is on this way, one is this way, and then this one the other way.
Ah,
So
they have to be,
it's supposed
they have to be the same
so
direction.
you need to be same direction. Every dish needs to be in the same consistency. I can't serve one dish different than other.
这个厨房没有很多压力，刚才我把东西都摆错了，然后 Gersu 啊也没有很大声的骂我，对我很好，谢谢。
那就算你运气好喽。
今天来到统龙家动物园，非常热闹。我们现在去看一些长颈鹿。前面
塔隆加野生动物度假村的住客在入住期间，都可以在动物园的开放时间随意进入园内，一览超过4000只野生动物的千姿百态。趁着工作的空档 ，Alan 马上溜进动物园里和动物们会面。
这里有一只鳄鱼呀。其实你知道吗？我小时候最喜欢的动物就是猩猩。哇，这个不错，你看很特别，也可以坐在那边跟这些动物这么亲密的相处。
塔隆加自然保护协会在2019年建设全新豪华野生动物度假村的一大原因之一，就是为了资助饲养动物。因为每年他们就得花费约新币180万元饲养位于悉尼和达博动物园里的所有野生动物。要喂饱塔隆加野生动物园里4000多只动物的艰巨工作，就落在这家营养中心的肩上。
Food preparation. Hi, is this the nutrition center?
Yeah, it sure is.
I'm Alan Wu, and I'm here reporting for duty.
这家营养中心专门为园内大大小小的动物提供每天所需的营养。每个星期，动物园里的野生动物可吃上1.8吨的肉和蔬菜水果，这就包括约500公斤的萝卜、400公斤的苹果、200公斤的玉米等等。而 Alan 今天要帮忙他最爱的黑猩猩准备他们的餐食。
So you'll see that at the moment we're doing beetroot, which is 8 kilos. We work under Michelle, who's our nutritionist, and so all our animals are fed like kings and queens.
全球只有约30家动物园拥有专属的动物营养专家，而塔隆加野生动物园就是其中一家。动物营养专家会依照个别动物所需的营养，使用现有的食材为它们设计均衡的饮食。
我们现在差不多准备好黑猩猩的午餐，他们有一些素菜，有水果，非常丰富的午餐。
Done.
营养中心也会为动物准备一些特别的食物，用来训练和刺激动物的思维。这些特制的菜泥将会用来训练黑猩猩制造和使用工具来觅食。
其实蛮香啊，然后呢，绝对有很多营养。Can I try it?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all healthy.
Yeah. You're a good salesperson.
I only cook the best.
Me like. 很好吃 ，pretty good.
有着专业屠夫以及动物营养学经验的 Carlin 是营养中心的2位屠夫之一。他每天负责为动物园里的狮子、老虎、马来熊等肉食性动物准备35到40公斤的肉食。
Okay, here, Alan, we got some kangaroo. This is ideal for our animals. It's game meat. Fur is very good for the indigestion for the animal. What it actually does is the fur, they swallow it whole and it actually picks up the dirt and little stones and stuff. Exactly right. And it makes it release out of the body, which is ideal for them.
Would it be better for humans then to eat meat with the fur on too, do you think?
Yeah, maybe we can, if you can, palate it. But
Yeah, exactly.
it wouldn't kill you, that's for sure. So this will be morning, lunch,
Dinner
dinner.
for 1 lion cub.
为了确保动物不会对食物感到厌倦，营养中心每天都为动物提供不一样的牲畜，如袋鼠、牛、鹿、猪、鹌鹑或羊等等，让动物保持活跃的身心，同时拥有均衡的营养。
Grab a lamb out now. If you can hold that for me, please, and hang it up on the rail. So, once a week, we actually give our lions a carcass feed.
The whole thing like this?
The whole thing. It's to get natural instincts as much as possible. We've got 5 cubs, a mother and a father. We want them all to eat together on a Sunday.
Family dinner.
A family dinner, yeah.
园内的5只老虎1个星期就能吃上130公斤的肉，而饲养园内的7只狮子1个星期的膳食费就要花上约新币3500元。但这些都不是最贵的，因为园内最挑、最难饲养的动物就是澳大利亚的国宝树袋熊。
Big door.
Wow, look at all those. Wow, it's like a little forest in here.
It is. So this is probably enough to feed the koalas for tomorrow and probably the next day.
All this eucalyptus is here to feed those koalas in the wildlife retreat.
Not just those ones. We have some
kidding.
at Koala Encounters in the exhibit and at the Institute as well. So
I
we've got
see.
20 koalas.
About 20 koalas, okay.
塔隆加野生动物园拥有自己的桉树种植园，也设有专门饲养树袋熊的团队。他们会和园艺部门合作，种植和采集树袋熊每天所需的桉树枝叶，并确保它们吃得够、吃得好、睡得饱。Alan 接下来就要和动物饲养员 Natalie 和 Amy 一起为树袋熊准备他们今天的午餐。
How big is each bundle?
It's by what we see at the top. So
Okay.
that's 1 stick, so that's 200 grams, and Humphrey gets 5 sticks.
一只树袋熊吃这么多，看起来是很多桉树，不过它们只有吃最上面这部分，一共差不多1公斤的桉树叶子。
树袋熊只吃桉树叶，而每只树袋熊都有自己偏爱的桉树品种。它们只吃顶部最嫩、最多汁的叶子，因此一只树袋熊1年就需要1000棵桉树才能把它们喂饱。
If you, because I know they only eat the very top pieces. Why keep the entire branch or this?
Several reasons. If we pulled all these little leaves off and presented it to the koalas on a plate, they wouldn't recognise it as food. So they need to see it in a branch, first off. It also keeps the leaves hydrated, so koala actually means no drinking. They get all their water from their eucalyptus. Nice work.
All right. 20 more.
Yeah. You're good to go now. We'll leave, okay?
Yeah, exactly.
We're off to get some coffee now.
主持人 Alan 吴振天来到澳大利亚首家与动物共眠的豪华度假村，享受别具一格的生态体验。他也走入幕后，见证照顾4000多只野生动物的巨大工程。
Done.
用了1个下午把桉树枝叶分配好后，天也下起了雨。不过即使刮风下雨，工作仍要继续。Alan 和 Natalie 现在就要把部分的桉树枝叶送回度假村，去喂养保护区里的4只树袋熊。
A little bit wet there.
Yeah, a little bit wet today. 今天刚好也下大雨，不过不会影响到我们的任务。好了，我们到了。Yeah, I'll grab this first one.
We'll get another.
You want just one at a time? I can do about 4 maybe if you want.
Oh, are you sure?
Yeah, I'm
Alan.
positive.
Alan.
Yeah. Yep. 整个星期没有运动，现在至少可以做一点运动。You can do. She's taking it all down.
一捆的桉树枝叶就重达6公斤，而且天不作美 ，Natalie 和 Alan 要在湿滑的地面上搬运一捆一捆的桉树枝叶，除了考验他们的体力，同时也锻炼他们的意志力。
So we got to walk up through this gate. Got it. I don't know how to let you through. I am jammed.
You're jammed.
I'm good. Oh, it's a full body workout.
Yeah.
I can take something.
That's okay. 我们现在要准备喂树袋熊 ，stick it in.
That's right. And what we're always trying to do is make sure the koalas can reach.
树袋熊大部分的时间都是在树上度过的，它们一天可花上20个小时睡觉，只有不到10%的时间用来觅食。
So he's heading off.
由于森林大火、干旱和气候变化等威胁影响，树袋熊已被列为濒危品种。2021年，新南威尔士州的一项调查发现，若不采取紧急行动，新南威尔士仅存的树袋熊可能在2050年面临灭绝。因此，入住塔隆加野生动物度假村的旅客可以确信，他们已经为保育树袋熊的这项工程做出了宝贵的贡献。
We'll just adjust this a little so
you can reach it.
Reach. I'll try not to shove it right in his face.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy.
How's it going? Got a little friend here that's ready to eat, or where is he going? Where are you going, my man?
这家豪华的生态度假村是澳大利亚2家获得5星级绿色之星评级的旅店之一。但度假村究竟是如何从建筑设计到运作方面都可以成功地达到节省能源的标准，并减少对环境的影响呢？
We used a lot of wood in the design because it's a renewable material. So if you take timber from a sustainable forestry operation that works to protect wildlife, then it's a really great building material. It stores carbon and it's keeping in line with the wildlife retreat being part of nature.
为了融入周遭的大自然环境，度假村的5栋建筑不高于4周的树线和景观。选择使用交叉层压木材为主要的建筑材料，也可以减少建筑能耗以及提高隔热性能。在为宾客打造一个卫生舒适的环境之时，度假村也不忘重视环保。这里的清洁部门就有一种很独特的环保清洁剂。
So this is one of our e-water dispensers. It's this amazing technology where it adds electrons to water and it creates a whole cleaning product that's really effective. If you run your hands under that, you'll feel it's actually feels a little bit soapy, like it's a little bit
a little bit slippery, a little bit, yeah.
And then this other product here, we call it the sanitizer. It acts like a bleach, and you'll notice that it actually smells.
It does.
A bit like bleach.
It smells like bleach.
Yeah,
It does.
Yeah.
There's no bleach in there.
No, it's just water and salt.
哇，真的很厉害呀！
房屋整理部门使用这款无毒素并可生物降解的电解水来打扫，把环境污染的可能性降到最低。所有豪华客房内也都不含一次性塑料制品，可持续的概念可说是贯穿整个度假村的入住体验。 自开业以来，度假村也荣获了不少设计和可持续性发展的奖项，这就包括了亚太旅店最佳可持续性发展旅店的荣誉。覆盖在建筑外观的这些常春藤，除了能够美化环境，也能够降低城市热岛效应。而负责打理这些植物的，就是度假村园艺部门的 Karen。Alan 接下来的工作就由他来带领。
The effect is to create, from the outside looking in, a beautiful green wall with these kind of little spots on this landing where guests can walk up and look out. We just kind of want to open up these little vantage windows and keep them clear.
I'm going to give you a very nice view pretty soon.
Yeah, that's fine.
除了美化和绿化度假村，野生动物的居住环境也是园艺部门的一大考量。要打造度假村的这个保护区 ，Karen 和他的团队就经历了无数次的反复试验，才造就了今天这个动物和人类能够和谐共处的空间。
There's been big changes since we opened. Maybe within the first week, we lost a lot of plants almost, overnight.
Oh, really? What happened?
Yeah, they got eaten.
Oh, I was going to say, by the captive animals?
It was mainly the captive animals. The challenge is trying to work out what's not going to get eaten, what still looks good, what's going to provide the habitat.
度假村的园艺部门尽可能为野生动物打造一个和大自然栖息地相似的环境，让动物感到舒适、安全，也为它们提供隐蔽之处。
So you're just going to cut behind the finished flower, just here.
Karen 每天的职责除了保护植物被动物觅食、维持度假村的外观以及铲除杂草以外，他也必须观察和确保植物茁壮成长。
We also want to look for Callistemon sawfly. So he's going to eat the new leaf. Can you see how that's been skeletonized?
I see it. 这就是一只害虫。Come here. Stop eating our leaves.
Stop eating our leaves. We want our Callistemon to grow.
Exactly.
And then I just squash it in my...
Oh, you squash it like that?
Yeah, I just squash it and then drop it. Make sure it doesn't spurt everywhere.
Yeah, I know. I wasn't worried about. 哇，这种。 其实在这里工作，一边是很好玩，不过另外一方面也要面对天气。现在也在下雨，不过我们还是要把我们的任务全部完成。Rain or shine, we got to get the job done. Keep these plants looking green, feeling lean, and not being too mean.
来到动物园的访客，除了能够入住奢华的生态度假村之外，也可以选择在星空下露营，听着狮子的咆哮声入睡。 自1999年，塔隆加野生动物园就为旅客提供喧闹与酣睡这个奇幻的入住体验。Alan 就要和拥有16年经验的宾客体验官 Ryan 一起整理好帐篷，准备迎接即将入住的客人。
So just imagine, nice little start, a little bit of food, overlooking the view over here. It's a really great experience for couples, for families. It's just a great experience.
Excellent, excellent.
Okay, so we're going to check on the tents.
Sounds
and
good.
Just make sure that they're set up for our guests tonight.
Fantastic.
17个游猎风格的帐篷坐落在悬崖边，瞭望着悉尼海港全景。每个帐篷内都配有灯、电源插头、床、暖床器和毯子等，让住客能够在大自然中仍享有舒适的被窝。
I need your help here, man. So yeah, come out. Let's roll this up. Man, you're pretty good at this. Well done.
Excellent. After you, welcome.
Come through. Let's get you over to your tents and start taking in the view, everyone.
一晚叫价可高达新币785元的奢华野营，让住客在动物园关闭后，仍然可以独享这个神奇的乐园。
These will be your accommodations for the evening right here. Please welcome.
Thank you.
What do you think of it?
That's amazing. The view is awesome.
傍晚6点30分，奢华的野营体验也正式开始。宾客在入住期间，除了享有美食、美酒和美景之外，也能够在夜晚跟随着宾客体验官一起夜游动物园，以独特的方式来观看这些野生动物。
其实我在新加坡也没有去过它的 Night Safari， 所以这次呢是很特别。我们现在是用红色的手电筒，因为红是比较不会伤到动物的眼睛，不过我觉得有点暗不太看得很清楚。
哎呦 ，Alan， 这才是夜间探险，既刺激又有趣。
Here what we have is one of our 5 beautiful African lion cubs with Mum Maya and Dad Atto. Often you can hear these guys roaring at night time or chuffing. They just like to have a little chat.
这难得的野营体验，让住客能够有机会观察夜行性动物生态，借由近距离与动物互动，培养对大自然的尊重之心，并学习爱护生态和环境，是个寓教于乐的绝佳体验。
科莫多巨蜥现在想睡了， 给它休息一下吧，你别再打扰它。
住客也能够趁着动物园还未开放前，一睹动物活跃喂食的景象，甚至能够尝试喂这些可爱的长颈鹿吃早餐。我们的主持人 Alan 也忍不住前去体验。
听说你从早到晚上喜欢吃东西啊，那就慢慢吃，请慢用。Will you eat the little leaves?
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, she's decided, no, not good enough.
No.
No. She goes, I don't work for scraps. I don't get up out of bed for scraps.
Exactly.
这家坐落在悉尼塔隆加野生动物园内的豪华生态度假村，一年可吸引35000人入住。而保育动物正是塔隆加野生动物度假村存在的真正目的。
We'll just adjust this a little.
So you can reach it.
塔隆加野生动物园目前拥有多达73个野生动物繁殖计划，且仍不断扩展保育和研究的工作。度假村的一大卖点就是住客们可以在动物园开放前参与这个 Wallaby 鸟舍的专属导览，而我们的主持人 Alan 吴振天当然也不会错过。
Can you see the bird just through here? That's Echo, our lyrebird.
Wow, look at that. It's beautiful. It's like a peacock, kind of? No?
To impress the female.
Look at that sound.
Camera shutter. Really unique creature. Zoo's closed. And we could hear a baby crying in here. Then we heard an ambulance in here. Then we heard camera shutters going off. We heard a kookaburra. We heard a currawong, bushstone curlew. That's great, we don't have any of those birds in here. It's Echo mimicking.
所以这只鸟叫做禽鸟，然后很特别，只有在澳大利亚能够找到。
如此有天分的禽鸟，难怪 Alan 忍不住试一试它的功力。
酷旅店，酷旅店，他不理我，不给我面子，你不给我面子，我不给你面子，我看其他的鸟。
哎呦 ，Alan， 你竟然跟一只鸟怄气呀！高耸的砂岩墙、清澈的水池，这个南半球最大的鸟舍之一，是23种鸟类、多达100多只鸟儿的栖息地。
Taronga is a special place. I love getting people in, giving them magical experiences. Zoos have changed a lot. People just come here and just come here and have fun and see animals. It's about breeding, research, conservation, and education. I love getting people in and showing to them how they're helping.
这个鸟舍也是塔隆加野生动物园进行繁殖和释放项目的地方。在过去的20年里，动物园专注繁殖的其中一个品种就是极度濒危的本土鸟类王舍石蜜鸟。
When things got really drastic here, there was between 180 and 300 left. Critically endangered means within 3 generations or 10 years, their number's going to drop by 90% or more.
由于王舍石蜜鸟在野外极度濒危，雄性幼鸟难以向年长雄鸟学习鸣叫，因此严重影响交配能力，加剧数量下降。动物园的研究团队就在鸟舍播放野生王舍石蜜鸟的正确叫声，让人工饲养的王舍石蜜鸟学习，希望有助它们放生野外后能够吸引雌性。而负责这项工程的就是动物行为学家 Dr. Benjamin Pitcher。We
have speakers placed around the aviary in here that plays the song to the birds so they can hear it and it simulates a bigger flock. This is sort of what it sounds like. Hopefully, here we go. One's just come into the tree just up here in front of us.
Is that one?
That's one just there, yeah.
前面这里就是有一只 Regent Honey Eater， 然后今天早上的任务呢，就是陪着 Ben 去播这些歌给他们听。看他们能不能够把这首歌唱出来。
One of the things that we do when we come down here is we find the birds and we listen to them singing and we re-record their songs.
Okay.
And we take that back to the lab and look at that on the computer and see how close to a natural song that actually is. We're doing pretty well. We're getting pretty close to teaching them how to sing a proper song, which is really exciting.
至今，塔隆加野生动物园已培育了200多只王舍石蜜鸟，并将它们放归野外，大幅度增加这个品种的野生种群数量。
It's really a key part of the work that we do here at Taronga, conserving our animals, getting them back to the wild and making sure that they're there for the future and for everyone to enjoy.
这时，艾伦突然被召唤回到度假村。
So I'm going to pick him up.
Tell me if he's a bit too heavy.
It's okay.
Right?
I can handle it.
Okay.
I've carried bigger animals.
Okay.
原来度假村保护区里的其中一只丛林袋鼠 Harry 受了伤，必须送往园内的野生动物医院进行治疗。
We noticed a little bit of a swelling on his nose a little while ago, so we're just going to get this looked at now.
要扛着12公斤重的笼子，从度假村步行10分钟到野生动物医院，就连健壮的 Alan 也开始有点吃不消了。
I feel like I'm doing a Spartan race, you know, where you're like, oh, we're almost there.
Yes, we are. This is the hospital here.
终于到了塔隆家的动物医院。How heavy is he about? About maybe.
He's about 8 or so kilos, but then this is about 3
Yeah.
or something.
Okay.
So you did carry about 12.
Okay. It feels heavier than that, but I
Yeah,
think it's bulky, I
think.
think.
Yeah.
塔隆加野生动物医院是动物园在保育项目里不可或缺的部门，他们专门治疗园内生病或是受伤的动物。如果民众在外遇到有需要帮助的野生动物，也可以把它们带到野生动物医院去。还好 Natalie 及时发现这只丛林袋鼠受了伤，并第一时间把它送到医院，兽医们才能尽早为丛林袋鼠撞伤的鼻子进行手术。
现在要准备动手术，动手术完要住院1个星期。
在关闭疫情之前，到访塔隆加野生动物园以及度假村的宾客都能够参与医院的导览活动，了解兽医团队是如何帮助野生动物们恢复健康。医院的非高峰时段过后 ，Alan 再次回来探访，希望能从野生动物医院经理 Jessica 的口中进一步了解他们幕后的工作。
Hello.
Jessica?
That's me.
Alan.
Lovely to
Pleasure to
meet
meet you. Thanks for taking the time to show me around the animal hospital.
My pleasure. Come on in.
Okay, thank you.
This is our main treatment room, so it can be absolutely hectic. We can have anything on that table from a chimp or a lion right through to an echidna or a sugar glider.
除了齐全的医疗设备，塔隆加野生动物医院也设有实验室以及尸检室，为动物进行全面的诊断和病因调查，让动物园在日后能够更妥善地照顾这些野生动物。
Do you have a lot of instances where you have people bring in injured or animals that need rescue?
Many instances. So between our 2 hospitals here in Dubbo, we see about 1,500 wildlife a year. So on any given day, that's 2, 3, 4, 5, depending on the season, animals coming in the door and needing our help. So this is our wildlife intensive care unit.
Okay.
This is where we would keep animals that have come in from the wild. It's quite important that animals that are from the wild, that we don't know anything about what diseases they could or couldn't be carrying, that they don't come in contact with our animals from our collection.
Ooh, look at that.
This little guy we have in at the moment is a little penguin. So he was found by some boaters not swimming quite right. And again, as you can imagine, for a little penguin to be able to be caught, something isn't quite right. So we're still investigating exactly what's going on.
在兽医的巧手下，丛林袋鼠 Harry 成功的完成手术，正等待康复中。太阳西下，旅客散去，但园内的工作仍然持续着。辛苦了5天的 Alan 在塔隆加野生动物度假村实习打工的时间也来到了尾声。为了答谢 Alan 的努力付出，度假村特别邀请他到2个厨师帽的餐厅 Migo 用餐，好好体验这度假村所给予的热情款待。
现在呢，到我享受的时刻。Very good. Cheers.
Cheers.
So happy to be here.
Cheers.
Thank you
Cheers.
for taking me, allowing me to enjoy this and also to work with you.
Good to have you here.
塔隆加野生动物度假村能够在短短开业的几年内就吸引高达数万名旅客前来拜访，正因为它为住客提供了毕生难忘的体验，同时也让住客为人类和野生动物的共同未来做出巨大的贡献。
其实我觉得最有意思的就是，这里也是非营利组织，所以所得到的收入全部是为了保育所有的动物。对我们来说，可能这个是一个5星级酒店，对这些动物来说也是一种5星级的享受。从他们所有的员工，我真的能够感受到他们对动物的爱。 他们不只是会替客人想，他们也会替环境、为大自然、为他们的动物想。他们会给我更多的动力去想帮助这些动物。